People, let's get together. Stop all this fussing and fighting. Let's love one another. You gotta help your mother, help your father, help your brothers, help your sisters, help your neighbors and your friends. We are one people, one nation, one destiny. Everybody, y'all. One people, one nation, one destiny. Yeah, yeah. Separated. Now we are freer. That's the way it should be. You gotta help your mother, help your father, help your sister, help your brothers, help your neighbors and your friends. We are one people, one nation, one destiny. Yeah, yeah. One people, one nation, one destiny. Yeah, 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 yeah. We are one people, one nation, one destiny. Yeah, yeah. One people, one nation, one destiny. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Do it like this, reggae's another day, y'all. Move, y'all.
This is Attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
All right. Hey, guess what? Good morning. My name is Mark Benchab. It is good evening wherever else you are. I just asked you once to just share the link and let's get ready to see what's happening in beautiful Guyana that's being wrecked and ruined by these vagabonds who are in office. And I say vagabonds, that's just a light term in terms of describing them. But I notice here right off the bat, we have Clinton Hollingsworth to say enough is enough. Yeah, we've been hearing enough is enough, but when will enough be enough? To me, it's an outplayed terminology. Oftentimes we just say enough is enough. We're tired of the same thing over and over. Enough is enough. I'm tired of enough is enough, mind you. And no disrespect to those who say enough is enough. I sometimes say enough is enough. And then in retrospect, I'm like, am I not tired of just saying enough is enough? Enough. We've had enough. Enough has been enough a while now. And we have sat down and we have taken it all from these corrupt individuals who are in office. So Clinton Hollingsworth is saying, and I quote here, it's right there on the screen: our children could not attend former the late President Burnham's exhibition hosted by the Burnham Foundation, but today all testing must stop to honor. In other words, they probably have tested schools, and it must stop so that they can honor the late President Chetty Jagan. Uh, and so Clinton Hollingsworth is asking, what next? I see what Mr. Hollingsworth is actually saying there, that there must be fairness across the board. We cannot try to eliminate a leader who has done so much for Guyana. Because when we compare the two leaders, we've got to give Burnham way, way ahead in terms of leaving a legacy. This is not to say that Jagan has not contributed. They've all contributed, yes. But, there's absolutely, in terms of when it comes to doing things for Guyana, uh, there's no one that comes closer to Burnham, despite how some may feel about him. It's politics, yes. You want to paint your political figures and your leaders as the heroes. But we've got to look at the evidence. And what the evidence says, it's that Burnham is way ahead of them. We have the Linden Soosdike Highway. We have the housing schemes that were developed. We have proper roads all over the country. And those roads are still up and running that we use, the Quarantine Highway, the Linden Highway. And the Linden Highway was destroyed because of Jack Deere. I repeat, the Linden Highway was destroyed because of Jack Deere. A lot of you may not know this, but Jack Deere, spent hundreds of millions of dollars, your tax dollars, our tax dollars, into something that is called the fiber optic cable. Now, the fiber optic cable was there to offer internet services and all these manner of things that Jack Deere had intended to use as his personal gains. So he took the taxpayers' monies, nearly probably $1 billion, to run the cables from the Latem area closer to Brazil border, all the way through Linden, and then cut across onto the highway. And he had his men them digging up. They dug up the highway. That is why when you look on the parapets and so forth, on the corner, the edges of the road, it's totally destroyed as a result of Jack Deere's stupidity. So some of the accidents that we're seeing on the road is because of the bad road, because it was damaged by Jack Deere, allowing his men them to put the cable down. Sorry for a moment, let me rephrase that. He allowed workers who were running the cables. I've got to be cautious anyways, so that is exactly why the Linden Highway is the way it is. And that highway has been there for over 40 years, 40-something years, a long, long time. Since I was a little boy, it's a beautiful highway. Well done. It's not the kind of roads that these guys are building today with a little small thing. And then as soon as you ride a bicycle on it, that's it. As soon as you ride a bicycle, that's the end of it, or a go-kart. It's done with. These people can't talk about development. These people can't talk about the legacy. When we look at all the schools around the country that were built, the multilateral schools, we talked about mass games. We talked about, national service. As a little boy growing up, I heard about national service. I wanted to join, but I don't know why I couldn't join. But I've heard about these things. I grew up in the mass games era, that we all got together in terms of unity, and we were very orderly in terms of the mass games and going to other schools and the competitions and so forth. These are some of the legacies of Forbes Burnham. And so getting back to Mr. Hollingsworth's point, to want to deny young people any sort of access to the real history of Guyana and to deprive them of even hearing the tremendous contributions that were made by President Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham is a crime. But his party has to stand up and defend him. That's another issue, right? I shouldn't be the one, or Hollingsworth shouldn't be the one trying to defend. They should be doing that. And now let's touch on this crapo right away. You could tell it's a fake crapo. Hear what this fake crapo is saying, and we'll just give him his 15 seconds of fame. Mark, you need to come back home and talk these things. You guys in the US talking too much. Look, crapo, I've been there, I've done that. And don't try to tell me, of all person, to come back and talk. It doesn't matter where I am. I've been there, done that, and not afraid of any one of them would talk it in front of their faces. I have done that. Whether it's the commissioner of police, whether it's Jack Dare, whether it's whomever, whether it's drug lord. And so don't try to bring this kind of cheap chat talk to me, of all person. Don't bring it to me. So it's not like I have a history of only talking in the US. I talk right there in Guyana too, because all of them, from Jack Dare, all of them are a bunch of pacos. So don't try to bring that crap to me. Now that you've gotten your 15 minutes of fame, Lemon, do the honorable thing and let him go. We don't, it's not like we don't tolerate, opposing views. We do. But we know when it's a distraction, and we just don't allow distractions. Constructive criticisms, we do. But this guy, David Amsterdam, we know she doesn't exist. It's probably lick-lip, because you know those folks at the office of the president, that's what they do. They sit down in an office and they're being paid to blog on the different names, David Amsterdam, Patricia, whomever, and all these different things. That's what they do. But we don't tolerate them here. We have no time for them here. Anyways, so when you look around these things, you look at UG, free education from nursery to university, and all these different things. A lot of these pacus have benefited. Free education at the university level. However, they have applied it is a different story, but it was free. They had access to it. They were never discriminated from saying only one set of people could attend the university and the other set can't attend. No, everyone had that opportunity to attend. Free courses, whether it's Critchlow Labor College. Robert Prasad attended Critchlow Labor College. He got his associate degree, I think, from Critchlow Labor College. All of these things. So these guys, a lot of them are ungrateful. That's what they are. They are ungrateful. If they think that Jack David Irfan mean well for Guyana, well, something is wrong with these people. Something is definitely wrong with them. And so for some reason, they can't get Burnham out of their minds. Some of them weren't even born when Burnham was president. Some of them weren't even born when Burnham died in 1985. I know some of them. But then when they talk, you would swear that they knew Burnham well. What year were you born again? I was born 1991. So how you punish Anna Burnham if you born 1991? Burnham died 1985. But you just said that you punished Anna Burnham. Be careful. Be careful with this sort of propaganda, my friends. Be careful with them. So the response was, you born in 1991, Burnham died 1985. How can you explain that? Let's do the math. How could you punish Anna Burnham? How could you punish Anna Burnham? They can't explain. I don't know. That's probably a long pregnancy. A long pregnancy. And so the PNC has to do more in ensuring that they put the plaster all over the country. I think a billboard of Forbes Burnham should be hanging somewhere in Linden, hanging in Borbies and so forth. They're gonna tear it down, but put it up. Now, Burnham wasn't a perfect leader. He wasn't a perfect president. Nobody is perfect. But you can't compare what Burnham has done for Guyana to what these clungs are doing right now. These clungs are flat-foot hustlers selling out the country. Every day, that's what they do. They sell the country out. It is, wasn't it Jack there who wanted to give Venezuela a piece of Guyana and all these different things? Come on, man. No comparison. Absolutely none whatsoever. They blame Burnham for some stuff, and I think it's just blaming. It's just a blame game. Some of them wanted to violently overthrow Burnham and all. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to go that route, but anyways, keep hope alive. That's what this show is about, right? Keep hope alive. And I'll be watching at some of your comments as well. You want to basically say something, feel free. Feel free to say something, and I will try to read some of your comments. We have a Maria Vera. We know it's fake, right? We already look. Here is what she's saying. I enjoy the propaganda. And now I will give her a little extra time. I'll give her a little extra time. What exactly is propaganda? What have I said that is propaganda? You counter the lies, and I will apologize right here, right now. I'll give you that opportunity. Lemon, allow her to stick around a little. What propaganda? You see, that is the thing with these folks. They come up with these fake pages, and now all of a sudden it's propaganda. I just said to you guys, I gave you guys the evidence, the Linden Highway, the free education from nursery to university, all of these things I just said. But yet Maria Vera, probably Kwame, is saying that it is propaganda. You see, that is where they're brainwashing our people. That is where they're brainwashing. They're brainwashing young people. They can't speak the truth. They can't take the truth because the truth is like alien to some of these folks. And so here it is. I enjoy the propaganda. See, that's the problem. I'm not going to ask what else you probably enjoy because it could very well be Kwame. But let's move on. Oh, gosh. Oh, my bad. I don't know. Now, there's a clarification here. And here's where I really like you now. And you're not Kwame. Maria is saying, you're misunderstanding me, Mark. I'm saying that I enjoy the PvP propaganda. I treat it as light and, oh, man. There you go. There you go. I got you now. PvP. Please, when you guys are making a comment, please be a little bit specific, because sometimes it can be so ambiguous that because right away I lump some comments I don't really understand quickly. I lump them as trench crappos, and I don't want to lump the good people as trench crappos. I don't. And Maria Vera, welcome to Straight Up. Good morning to you. Yeah. And good comment. Right. Thank you for the clarification there. I appreciate it. But we want to deal with positive people, positive things. Thank you, Maria. I noticed a comment, and we'll finish dealing with the Duncified goats them today, but we can address them too. But we're not going to spend much time in addressing them. Look at Jamal Yassim. Oh, look at Jamal. But Jamal, it's not even a where you sit down. Where you sit down there. Look what he's saying. He's saying you is a piece of. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sure Jamal Yassim is probably looking into the mirror right now and can't stomach himself what he's seeing, a reflection of exactly what he's saying there. Just a reflection. And outside of that, he came back again and he's saying, you is a qualified dunce. Hey, these guys ain't easy, you know. These guys ain't easy. Now he come back and say, you is a qualified dunce. But if you think that I'm a qualified dunce, what do you think of Irfan Ali? What do you think of all those other individuals who could hardly read and write, and they said them are billionaires and all these sort of things? What do you think of them? Oh, Jamal. Oh, oh, Jamal. Come again, naman. Get a crayon and write something or do come naman, Jamal. We'll leave Jamal, right? Um, Lemon, we'll leave Jamal. Let him expose himself. We like you, Jamal. Don't go. We're not gonna kick you off. We like you. You know, we're here to keep hope alive. We are for you, Jamal. We're not against you. We're not against you at all. We want you to keep on watching. Um, I want to play a recording. And first of all, if you are one of those Christians or Muslims or Hindus and think that are overly religious and don't want to hear some curse words and these things, um, cark your ears, as we would say in Guyana, right? Cark your ears, as we would say in Guyana. Cark your ears. Cark your ears. I noticed some of you guys, good morning. Aubrey Stevens is saying, don't pay them any attention. Sometimes it's good to address them right there, let them get the message straight up. Don't waste much time with them. You're right, Aubrey. And good evening to you, Aubrey. Or good morning, sorry, Aubrey. Aubrey Stevens, good morning to you. And if Aubrey Norton is watching, the leader of the opposition, good morning to you too, sir. Good morning. And so I noticed attorney at law Selwyn Peters is watching us. Good morning to you, Selwyn. I think Selwyn reminded me that, let me see what Selwyn reminded me about the elections petition. The elections petition. A lot of you guys want to know about the elections petitions, and rightly so, that we should be hearing much about that. But the opposition, they're not focused much on the elections petitions and these things. They're very important. Very important. I have a thick document on the elections and the corruption and so forth. Very thick document. I will be talking about that some other time and very soon. And so the petition comes back before the Court of Appeal for Guyana on March the 22nd. That is next week. I believe it's next Thursday. Correct me. It could be either next week, Wednesday or Thursday. But we will carry it live right here on 107.1 FM. All right. What else? I want to get to this recording that was sent, and it's being circulating. It's circulating. It doesn't make sense, but the Irfan Ali and Jack Deere, this is what they're doing to the country. And I put the blame squarely on the feet of these individuals, these so-called leaders. So-called leaders. I will get to that. Good morning to Brenda Casey. Good morning to you. Everyone is equally important to this show, but I just can't mention the names of everyone, Brenda. I just can't. It will take me a long, long time to do that. And I would love to do that, but I just can't do that to everybody. I just can't. But yes, I've observed that GT Rugel, she is on, and we welcome her to the show as usual. Let's get to this recording. And as we say in Guyana, if you don't like cuss up words and things, cock your ears, because it's very, very dirty. It's filthy. Sorry, I said dirty, like Annette Ferguson, how she pronounces certain words. It's dirty, right? Good morning to Annette Ferguson, Member of Parliament. And so it's not funny at all. It's dangerous. And I hope they find this individual. We are actually looking for that individual. We will find that individual. We know who the individual is. And this is exactly what Irfan Ali, and these vagabonds in the PPP are causing to happen in Guyana with their so-called One Guyana propaganda crap. And let's get straight to this. And please, I apologize ahead of time for the filthy language.
Good morning. See the madness where you guys get on with fucking racialness, Antonio? Huh? Ranger, I gotta go fucking fight with. You understand? Go and fight with fucking Ranger. He been in there for 3 years. Then no confident motion is after the election. He's stretching for reach 5 years and still never want to give up. Go and fight with fucking Ranger. Are your mother's cunt one power? You can't clean out your fucking batty hole? Eh? Are you fucking black racial cunt in Guyana? Eh? Are you want fucking power? I ain't can't wipe your fucking bat. I ain't can't beat your fucking skin. Box on a fucking bat tongue. Because I not get a fucking right man for coming fucking box down. For settle your cunt. Every fucking day I talk your fucking racialness. Why don't you try your fucking self in the fucking ocean? Go and fight the fucking Ranger and Harman and knock them out to Ramjatan. Them are the one, the people vote for them. Me know why the fucking people that vote for a fucking thief, man. You know PNC is a fucking thief. WPASC is a thief, man. It's a fucking bandit. I just want to work. I want thief and rob and kill and destroy. I not get a fucking right body for the fucking government should have called in the fucking US settle your squint properly. I play fucking mad again. I black mother squint you. Eh? People got cause your squint day and night. Eh? What you think? Are you fucking powerful? See the what I have to talk squint when I clean a fucking country. If I like a country. Come out and work and clean a fucking country. Where the people government for do everything? Mr. Norton want fucking free money. You want to the fucking blank check for the man right. Where the blank check gone? Huh? Are your mother's contouring it?
What are your thoughts on that? Just imagine this guy, probably very, very dark, calling people black man. He's got to be Irfan Ali's cousin. Seriously, he's got to be Irfan Ali's cousin. He doesn't understand the meaning of racism. They just don't. And I'm sure he's probably locked away in somebody's room in a basement. But yet he's cussing people, calling people hungry belly and all the persons of African descent, mind you. All of these things come as a result of Irfan and Jack Dio. Their policies. That is what they do. They love these sort of things. And that is how some folks view persons of African descent. Lazy, don't like work, hungry belly dog, and all manner of things. I'm not saying that all non-African persons view African persons like that. I'm not saying that. We have a lot of our Indian brothers and sisters who do watch this show and do not think like that idiot. And I respect all who do not think like that idiot, because that's who he is, an idiot. He probably hasn't even spent one day in nursery school, one single day, and they had to kick him out because he couldn't even open his lunch kit. And these are the quality of individuals who are out there and getting antsy, and all because of Jack Dio and Irfan Ali with their one Guyana bull BS. One Guyana. And they're going around the place discriminating against persons of African descent. They're quietly talking, other than what we see them doing publicly. They have no respect, no regards for persons of African descent. If you think I'm lying, let's go back to what Jack Dio was actually telling his supporters to do, inviting them to commit violence. And most of them listen to him.
Right across Guyana, when the ministers of Granger or Nagamutu come here after the 21st of March, you say to them, walk behind them, chase them out, they're going to be illegal. Say to them, you're illegal. Free up the country, you're undemocratic. They're going to face a different situation right across the country.
Ministers, when they come to
the communities, whether it is in Berbice or Essequibo and Linden or in South Georgetown or Agricola or in Ennore or Port Morant, the people of Guyana should treat them as illegal. I said they should walk behind them, chase them out of your communities because it means they've been squatting in power.
Good. Walk behind them, chase them out. What if we were to say, and I'll say this, that again, the PPP is illegal. It's an illegal government, an illegal regime that have been installed, illegal. They're in office through illegal means. That's a fact that they are running from. They don't want the courts to prove that. So every time the no confidence case comes up, they're the ones who are fighting against it being heard. They don't want it to be heard because they have something to be afraid of. They have something to be afraid of. And obviously, we know what they have to be afraid of. They know that they have rigged the elections. What they did was to get Forrest Jump. And Forrest Jump was basically, they started to jump and call the PNC folks and the coalition folks thieves and rigged the elections. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. And let me just say that there's a breaking news, not out in Guyana though, that the International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant, not for Jack Davis yet, but the International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin over the Ukrainian war situation. So I was hoping that that news would be that International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant for Jack Deo and now Irfan Ali. What else is happening that I can quickly bring to your attention? And just in case you don't know, and I'll share this with you, assuming that you are not aware as yet. Let's thank you, Lemon. Let's get to this here now. This is basically representatives of the, and what it is here, sorry, it is the embassy, the U.S. Embassy in Georgetown. They've issued this statement here. They welcome the congressional delegation led by U.S. House Committee on Ways and Means Chairman, Representative Jason Smith. The Committee on Ways and Means is the oldest committee in the United States Congress and is the chief tax writing committee in the House of Representatives. The delegation is in Guyana to meet with government leaders, civil society, and business leaders to discuss areas of mutual cooperation. That's what's happening right now in Guyana. Jason Smith is there heading a team. Jason Smith is the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, and they're currently in Guyana to meet with government officials, and not only government officials, members of the business community. I hope that some of the members of the business community will be screened, and you wouldn't have the money launderers and the drug lords who are now disguising themselves as legitimate business people, some gold smugglers and so forth. And I hope that Congressman Jason Smith, chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, he was elected earlier this year after a three-way race. And Jason Smith is a Republican, mind you, from Missouri, a Republican from Missouri. And I'm wondering, I recall when the Ways and Means Committee had to vote on the information pertaining to tax, Trump tax information. You'll be surprised how Jason actually voted on that. But at the end of the day, Jason Smith, Congressman Jason Smith, is in Guyana right now. And I'm not sure if they are going to meet. I'm not sure if they are going to meet with the opposition. I think they should meet with the opposition, but according to the information from the U.S. Embassy there that we saw, I didn't see any mention of opposition leader, unless they see the opposition parliamentarians as being part of the government. I don't know, but they should be specific. And Jason Smith and his team, seeing here, according to Desiree, Simon, thank you so much, because I did not read in much of the information other than Jason Smith is in Guyana. And I'm wondering who are these business people, quote unquote, business people that they're going to meet with, and whether some of those business people are wanted by U.S. law enforcement agencies. We know of a few of them who are wanted, and they're pretending to be legitimate business people. They're getting contracts here and there and all these things. I hope Jason's handlers are going to be screening those individuals. So that's what's happening there with those folks out there in Guyana. Whether Aubrey Norton got an invite as yet, I don't know. Let me see some of your comments, because this show is about you guys as well. I want to see what you're saying. Jan Adams is saying WPA got all of them coming out from they've been coming out, and they know that the pressure has been applied on them for a while now. There's been serious pressures on them. And I think it has reached a point whereas they just simply can't take the pressure anymore, because every night, you know what is it to be hitting at them every single night and day. So I'm not exactly, certain that it has just one statement coming from the WPA that got them jittery. I don't. It's a combination of so many different things that and this is not to discredit any statement coming from anybody, but it's just to say that it is just way too much. They just can't take it any longer. It is way too much. They spend hundreds of millions of dollars on propaganda. And we who don't have access to television other than bench up radio on the ground, they have so many different things. They got NCN, they got, you name it, all the radio stations, all of the TV stations, and all these different things. But they can't beat us on the message, and that's their problem. And the message is, it has been consistent across the board. Whether some of us who host programs and so forth agree 100% with each other, it's irrelevant. Well, what is important is the message. It has been banging away at them, and it is hurting them in the installed regime. It is hurting them so much that they just can't take it no more. It has nothing to do with just one statement made by the WPA member. And again, I'm not discrediting it. All statements are important. All statements are relevant, but it has to, what is it to have a headache and you suddenly can't take it no more? You're going to bawl, you're going to scream, you're going to do exactly that. So it's a collective effort to bang away at these political vagabonds in office. That is what it's about. So it's not just a one statement thing. We're beginning to see the fruits. This is not about who is more radical than who and who could teach who. It is not about that. It is all of us ensure that we keep hope alive. It is not to prove a point. When you prove a point, that is when mistakes are made. Let me see some of your comments, please. That's correct, Bridget Gittins. It has reached a boiling point right now. A boiling point right now. Let me see. Let me go back to some of your statements. Let me say good morning to Gita. Gita, good morning to you. Gita is saying here, you all know how this man is an upstart, always with stress. Now he come to be like the Guyanese people, God or goddess. Could some look? I'm going to leave it there. Can somebody read it for me? Read it. Roberto Gonzalez, Rita Clark, Brenda, Desiree, Hollingsworth, Jackie Beard. Somebody read this for me, please. I'm going to give you guys a minute. I want to understand really. Christine Jones, read this for me, please. Read it. Somebody read it and interpret it. I want to know what's happening here. MK Blair, let's go. It says here, Gita Samaru. Let's welcome Gita. We're glad that Gita is watching. We don't have a problem with that. And we're glad that Gita is so brave, right, Mary Jane? To comment. Now let's go. Let's go very slow. You all know how this man is an upstart. Always with stress. Now he come to be like the Guyanese people. God or goddess. That sounds to me like a poem. Where is Shakespeare and these guys? Where is Martin Carter? She would make Martin Carter look like a schoolboy any day with this poem. Now let's read it again. You all know how this man is an upstart, always with stress. Now he come to be like the Guyanese people, God or goddess. Oh, Father. And these folks are brave to comment too? Gita, you're actually so brave to comment? I just can't. Somebody interpret it. Somebody interpret it for me, please. Somebody interpret it for me, please. Please do. Otherwise, I don't know what I'll do, but this definitely isn't making much sense at all. For me, it is not. But here's what I'm going to do. Because I want to smile. I don't know how to smile, but I want to dedicate something to her because she's human too. Not all of us are bright. Not all of us can read and write properly. Not all of us can make sense all the time. But if you're going to attack somebody, at least try to make sense. Try to make sense when you attack somebody. You can't do this to me, man. You can't do this to me, Gita. Gita, you just can't do this to the show. This is not a show with like a critic and these. Go on them shows that with these sort of things. Not this side, man. I mean, you don't have to necessarily spell every word correctly, but I don't understand what you're saying here. I need to take a break, but before I do, I'll probably do something so that Gita, her name is Gita, right? Gita. We'll take a quick break. You guys share the link. I'm not yet done. I still have I want to see what's happening in the newspapers as well, and we can talk about it. But I'm not going to give her the donkey. She'll get something else, but not the donkey. I don't think she deserves the donkey at this point in time. Gita might very well be a good person who is anti-PPP, but is ashamed to come out and say that they're anti-PPP. And so I'll just play this for Gita. She deserves it. Gita, you guys listen carefully.
गाता चल ओ साथी गुनगुनाता चल गीत गाता चल ओ साथी गुनगुनाता चल
Right away, I thought of that song. Gita got chal, they got they got hill. Anyways, Gita, welcome to the show. We love and appreciate you. Don't hate us. We're not hating on anyone. We're actually speaking the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That is what we do here. And we understand that people can be easily uh, become brainwashed. And so it is our duty to ensure that we uh, spend time exposing the ills in Guyana, exposing corruption, exposing racism, and so forth. On this show, we don't mean, or on this radio station, we don't mean anyone any harm. And we don't spread propaganda, Gita. We just don't. We want all Guyanese to live in unity, peace, and harmony. That's what we spread right here every single day. Do not allow yourselves to be brainwashed by those individuals in the installed PPP regime. Because at the end of the day, those people in the PPP regime, the leadership, do not believe in you guys, the ordinary people. If they can use or continue to use you guys for their political purpose, and then when they get into office, look at who is getting all of the contracts. Look at who is getting richer. Who are the folks getting richer and richer and richer and richer? It's just not you, Gita. It is not the bulk of the people in Blackbush Pola. Right now, the rice farmers are suffering. The cane cutters can't get work. Skeldon Estate shut down as a result of the PPP, as a result of Jack Dale. Other estates were shut down. They were fooling the sugar workers. They were fooling their support base, the sugar industry. They were lying to the people in the sugar industry. They wasted $200 million there on a white elephant, the Skeldon Estate. All these things are evidence to prove that even the PPP do not care about their support base. They just do not care about you guys completely. They just don't. They might rush in and build a small road, a thin road in your area to make it look as though they care about you guys. Let's look at, since they have gotten back into office, since they've been installed, look at the frequency of the blackouts. You think they care about you guys? For 26 plus years, we've been having blackouts under the PPP. They couldn't fix it. For 26 plus years, GPL has not made a profit at all under the PPP. They were stealing hundreds of millions of dollars. Nothing was going to you guys. All of the communities, blackouts, blackouts, blackouts. Look at what they've done to maybe your refrigerator, your microwave, all these things. Just look at what those things have done. All because of an incompetent, visionless regime headed by Jagdeo Ramotar. And speaking of Ramotar, Ali Pickney then get big walk. You think you, Pickney, or you think you would get big walk under the PPP? No, it is not for you, Gita. It is not for anybody who do not fit within the circles of the PPP to benefit from these things. So it is not only our African brothers and sisters who are feeling the squeeze. It might be the majority, yes, but a lot of our Indian brothers and sisters are feeling the squeeze too. They are being punished. They are being victimized. They are being targeted by goons of the PPP. But unlike our African brothers and sisters, our Indian brothers and sisters, the majority of them are afraid to speak out. So Gita, I understand. I feel your pain, and I'm with you as well. That is why it is important that the next elections, whenever the next elections are held, the PPP must be voted out of office. They have rigged their way into office. And let me break this down for you, Gita. In terms of rigging, the evidence is there that the PPP, I can conclude that the PPPC rigged the 2020 general and regional elections. Because if they didn't rig the elections, Gita, if they didn't rig the elections, then they would have been so happy to have all of the elections petitions be heard. All of the elections petitions be heard. Now, why do you suppose, Gita, that the PPP doesn't want the elections results to be heard? Why do you? Can somebody, I'm looking for some comments here. Why do you suppose the PPP is reluctant? Now we have someone who probably graduated from Harvard here, is asking a question. Rajkumar Tejpal. Rajkumar, how are you doing? Rajkumar, we're not against you. We're fighting for you too. Now, Rajkumar is asking a question here. What you want the PPP do? With regards to what? Well, I don't know. Rajkumar, can you comment further? You mean what I want to, you know what I want the PPP to do? I want the PPP to stop the corruption. I want the PPP to stop the racism. I want the PPP to stop discriminating against mainly persons of African descent. I want the PPP to stop taking away mainly persons of African descent lands, their ancestral lands, and all these different things. You want me to answer more questions as to what do I want the PPP to do? You know what else I want the PPP to do? I want them to stop humbugging the elections petitions from being heard, Rajkumar. That is what I want them to do. But do you think they're going to do that, Rajkumar? Seriously, let's talk, bro. Let me sit down on Pira. And I'm sure you know what a Pira is. Let me sit down on Pira. Let me fold my foot. Or let me sit down in a hammock. Not next to each other, though. And let's talk. Let's talk sensible things. Stop being brainwashed by these goons in the PPP. They do not care about majority of Guyanese. Look around them, Raj. Can I call you Raj? Look around them, Raj. Do you think they really care? They don't. Do you think the PPP really care about you, Raj? You can fight from now till tomorrow for them. Do you think they care about you? No, Raj. They don't care about you. They don't care about the ordinary man, woman. It doesn't matter ethnicity, Raj. They just don't care. They just do not care, Raj. Stop burying your head in the sand. They don't give a rat's about you. All they are doing is brainwashing people. Raj, do not fall for it. Do not fall for it. Right now, a lot of Berbetians, Region 6, the people are fed up of the PPP. They're upset because the leadership out there in Region 6 is so corrupt that the people out in Berbice are afraid to come out. They're afraid to block roads, the drainage and irrigation, worst we have ever seen under the PPP. Look who are the folks who are getting richer and richer out there. Look at those people who became PPP leaders out there in Region 6 quarantine. All of them, some of them get 3-4 combines. Some of them do up them houses quick. Some of them do the fences, they put big guard huts. Raj, do you think you can go and knock on Zulfikar's gate at Bloomfield Village on the quarantine? Zulfikar is the Minister of Agriculture. Do you think he cares about you, Raj? Do you think he cares about the folks at Blackbush Pola, all those rice farmers who are punishing under the PPP regime? No, Raj. They do not care about you guys either. But if they can use you guys for the political purpose so that when they get up there, they're rich. All of them get rich. Their mom who get rich, their mommy get rich, their chachi get rich, their chacha get rich, their kaki get rich, their kaka get rich. And when I say kaki and kaka is an Indian terminology, so you guys don't get all bazidi, right? So Raj, take my word, and do not stress over these vagabonds in the PPP. Do not stress over them. All right? So do not stress over them. We'll take a quick break and we'll dedicate a song to sorry, we'll dedicate we'll dedicate we'll dedicate the song to these individuals whom it applies to, mainly Jack Dio and Irfan Ali and whoever else the cap fits. This is a song would explain what Kaki and Kaka means. It's an Indian terminology. Mary Jane, Vashni, and Cheryl and everybody, y'all should know, right? But I want others to listen to this song carefully, just for about maybe 30 seconds, because we don't want Facebook to come after us.
Well, you know, on the Indian side, there's called your father small brother your kaka, and there's called his wife your kaki. So here what happened with my kaki and kaka. My kaki and my kaka, that I don't know what to do. I send a man to the grave, I tell him to dig too. But the man so bold, he only dig one hole and tell me to put my kaki in my kaka hole. You want to put my kaki in my kaka hole, put my kaki in my kaka hole.
All right, that's actually a chutney, you know, and you heard the definition there of that Indian terminology. And so when I do speak, I'm not kidding. I'm just not kidding you at all. And it is what it is. You can get the song, you can dance to it, you can do whatever else you want to do with that song. And now this takes me to I know, a bit naughty, Mark, right? But that's actually a song. Let's see what's happening in the newspapers. Government now, and when they say government, they mean the installed regime, now cementing control over expenses for 14 new oil blocks. 14 new oil blocks that's going to be given to friends and cronies of the PPPC regime. Meanwhile, Raj Kumar and Geeta and everybody else fighting for crumbs, 1% of crumbs they're fighting over. They're giving Guyanese 1% of crumbs, and then 99% everybody taking it out of Guyana. Everybody flying into Guyana now. Guyana suddenly becomes an interest. It becomes an interest because people are concerned about the money that they can make the money. To hell with human rights, to hell with people, mainly persons of African descent, are being discriminated against. Forget about the fact that freedom of speech is being oppressed. Forget about all those things in the name of making monies and getting out of the country. And 1% of the country, the Rajkumar, the Geeta, the Compton, the Mark, everybody else fighting for that 1% of crumbs. And then when they rush into your community, guess what? They're going to sprinkle something called handouts. They're going to give a little auntie a little house that their friends are building, hundreds of houses that cost hundreds of millions of taxpayers' money, and they feel that they're doing a favor to auntie when they give auntie a little house. A little house. And then they go to Linden and give a woman the same or smaller size house with about 5 picnic. They feel that is a legacy. That is the legacy. And people's stupidity. People must sit down People must sit down and accept that. People must sit down and not speak out. When we speak out, we're being described by a bunch of haters in the PPP, the Jack Daves, the Irfan Ali, and these guys are spreading racism. Oh, they're spreading racism. You tell me. Show me the evidence where I have ever preached racism on my show in any way, shape, or form. And you tell me what's the definition of racism. And you tell me who I hate. Is there any evidence that I have any cause to hate anyone? Absolutely not. And even Geeta or Raj Kumar, I can tell you all. You don't play that you can speak more Hindi than me. Don't play that you know more about the Indian culture than me. Racists don't do that. Racists don't have time with people's cultures, right? So understand how you guys are being brainwashed by these Looney Tunes at Freedom House and those who have been installed out there right now sitting at the office of the president. Just don't worry with them. But we're going to go to the papers, right? We'll go to the papers. Let me see what's going on in the papers. We'll touch on the Kaichur news first. And then when we're done, we're going to go to the Village Voice. The Village Voice. Y'all don't forget the Village Voice. Now, 14 days, not enough to review new oil contracts. So what Jack they're doing, and this is according to environmentalists. So with the oil contracts, Jack they're pretending as though they're transparent. We have nothing to hide. We want to show all we have nothing to hide. If Jack had nothing to hide, how is it that he's not talking any longer about the allegations made by Sue? He's no longer interested in any investigations. But yet this is a guy who now saying because of the oil contract and because they're being skinned up every day, and we got to give Glenn Lal credit for that. Glenn Lal is consistent. He is consistent. I just wish that our parliamentarians in the opposition could be as consistent when it comes to the oil contracts and the oil deal and exposing and saying, look, we want a better share. We want a better deal. We want to see who these players are. We want to see who Donald Ramatar sold those 3 oil blocks to just before they got out of office and all these things. And we know that the coalition had promised that we're going to know the names. They got into office, we know no names. We in here, we know, we could assume, we could say that it is 3 persons, one in Uki, one in this, one in that. We could say these things. And the 3 oil blocks, 2 of which are owned by non-Guyanese. All these different things. Guyanese are getting the wrong end of the stick. Guyanese, regardless of their race, regardless of their religion, are getting the wrong end of the stick. In fact, they're not even getting the stick. It's being shoved all over them in the name of politics. The PPP handful of these guys, Irfan Ali and his friends, again, some of them are wanted by U.S. law enforcement agencies. They're the ones who are getting richer and richer and richer. They're the ones who can buy fancy cars and boast about driving fancy cars and boast about winning cases so that their fancy cars could reach to Guyana and all manner of things. Those are the ones who are getting richer and richer on the backs of Guyanese people. But you think Raj Kumar and Geeta and a couple other people out at Manchester Village, Alnis Village, Philippi, Cromarty, Kilmarnock, Eversham, Blackbush Polar, you think they could afford to buy, or even the folks in Albistown, Tiger Bay, or Georgetown, or Linden, or wherever, you think they could get $100,000 to invest in anything right now? They can't. They just can't. Because things are so rough in the country right now. Not even our Indian brothers and sisters are enjoying any oil wealth. But a lot of folks who are PPP supporters are afraid to come out and speak the truth. They just don't want to. But since they don't want to, we are not going to discriminate against anybody. We will speak the truth on behalf of all Guyanese. That is what we are here to do. And so, Raj Kumar and Geeta, we welcome you to this show. We're not against anybody. We want to work together for a better Guyana. But we cannot have a better Guyana when it is being headed by a pack of thieves, a pack of criminals, a pack of hooligans who are only concerned about selling out the birthright of Guyanese for 20 pieces of silver. The oil wealth should be trickled down to all Guyanese. All Guyanese. All Guyanese should receive at least $500 to $1 million every month for the next 20 years. It can happen. But no, they want to go and spend hundreds of millions of dollars to put a stadium in Berbice where everybody could go and probably sit down and eat and eat from purine leaf, eat cook up, eat dal and rice, eat seven curry, eat fufu in that stadium. All of we go sit down in that stadium and we are going to just eat and we are going to have a joyful time, right? That is what they, hundreds of millions of dollars. And when they claim that they're building those that stadium, it's not because they're concerned about you guys. It's not because they're concerned about us. They're not. They're concerned about making money. That is what it is about. Making money. Yep, sorry about that. That is what it's about. Making money for these people. They're not concerned about anything else. Nothing at all. So at that stadium, they want all of us to just go there. We must just go there, sit down, and watch each other. Jare Mati, if you get Nara, or whatever. And that is what they're about. Fooling people. Hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars for a stadium. Hundreds of millions of dollars for a stadium. Look, we might as well just start prepare for sing and just enjoy ourselves in the stadium. There's absolutely nothing else we can do. Nothing else we can do at that stadium because it's built right next to the Berbice River Bridge. So now when you get a stadium and let's say you get cricket or you get something there, where are those cars going to line up in the middle of Jack Deere's Passage, that Berbice River Bridge that was built with hundreds of millions of your dollars, your tax dollars that Jack Deere took and gave to his friends and cronies and families to invest in a private bridge where they're the ones who are benefiting from it? And now a stadium? Look, man, I need to drink a nice cold Coca-Cola or something. If you're eating your cook-up right now, or you're drinking your dal, or you're eating your pulori, or you're eating plantain chips, let's enjoy it for at least 1 minute. Just pretend all of us are in the stadium right now there in Berbice. I've been get walk, I've been get nothing to do. All day I will go sit down and enjoy myself because the installed PPP regime has nothing else to offer Guyanese people, regardless of your race. Nothing else. So when they build a stadium, you know what we can do? Like I said, without repeating myself, we can go inside the stadium, we can sit down, and we can plant on the foot, and we can stand up, we can do all manner of things. And we can just hold my hand and just probably sing along. Hold my hand and sing along because there's nothing else in Guyana to do. Nothing else to do right now. So let's go. So we might as well just do that. We might as well just, there's nothing else to do. A stadium, a so-called stadium that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars and people are starving. People are starving in that country. Look at them. Look at them. They believe this is a success story. The stadium that is being built with your own, with money that should be going into your pockets. What about the schools? Oh, don't speak of schools. They gave almost 300 million to some chaps out in Linden to build a school. Up to now, we can't even hear back from this. That's crumbs. But they give their other friends and cronies 1 billion, close to 1 billion, to build a silly looking fire station. Their friends and their cronies to build a silly looking fire station and all these things. That is what they're doing with the monies. Pretending as though they care about you, when in fact they just do not care about you, the people, at all. They just don't. If you're now joining us, my name is Mark Benchap, and we just have a midday chat, so to speak. A midday chat to see what's going on in the country and to expose these evil individuals who are in office right now. Evil. So we might, again, I'm saying this in terms of what we should do with that stadium. That stadium, nothing else to do with it. Absolutely nothing else. I know, I am almost certain that Geeta and Rajkumar will agree with me. Nothing else to do. Claudette Allen, good morning. Good morning to you. Nothing else to do with that stadium other than sit down and just eat and gaff and just, that's it. That's it. Nothing else to do. And all day to do it. No job, no nothing. People getting free money, 10,000 a month, 40,000 a month. That's where the corruption is. They don't care about empowering people. So let's sing in that stadium. Let's sing. But that's exactly what they want us to do, right? Look, this is, it might sound funny, but at the end of the day, it's just not funny at all. It is just not funny. You know, that is how these goons are running the country right now. That's how they're running the country. I don't know what else you guys want us to probably. I don't know what else is there that we can talk that you don't already know. What else? I don't know, but I'm reading some of your comments. Reading some of your comments, and I have taken note with a lot, and so we can just if they want us to.
Oh, we have to be in it. Oh, I see it tonight, you know. I have something to teach you. Chat to me now. Well, I better practice what you preach. I don't know what, baby. You think it all go so when I hold you tonight, I go and do all of the things.
That's what we should be singing in the studio, right? That's all. Hey, guys, let's get back to the newspapers. Nadira Sakraj, thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. All of you guys, every one of you. Timna, yeah. Good. Actually, good. What is it? It's afternoon now, right? So sorry about that. Let's see what Noel Lawrence is saying here. Mark, the regime, we don't have a government right now. We have a hustling entity. Should not give out money. They should put that money into your GE, healthcare, and education. I agree with you. Healthcare. The healthcare system in Guyana sucks. It's all about money, money, money. They got one so called minister, and you have three other advisors, two of whom are former minister. You have Minister Leslie Ramsamy, you get another Paku who threatened to slap an activist, and then you have another individual. Well, the other individual wasn't Minister of Health, but the other individual, at least, I have a little bit of respect for that person, but none of the others I have respect for. Absolutely none. So I agree with you, Mr. Lawrence. But when you look around, the healthcare system sucks. The healthcare system sucks. Pregnant mothers are afraid to go there to give birth. Every month, babies are dying. Mothers are dying at childbirth, and all these different things happening under the PPP regime. The health, and yet they have their friends and their cronies claim that they're building hospitals. I don't know if the building of these hospitals have anything to do with laundering any money. I don't know, and neither am I saying that. But healthcare hospitals all over them, a build hospital now. What do they want to do? They want to cut out people's lungs and sell it on their hearts and sell it to other parts of the world? I don't know. These are questions that we have to ask. I just don't know. What else happening in the news, man? We are hearing that the opposition wants full parliamentary scrutiny for new model PSA. New model PSA, the production sharing agreement. You can't expect these things to happen in Parliament, They have to happen outside of Parliament. Because when you sit down in Parliament and you don't have the majority, they ain't going to show nothing in Parliament. And this is a comment coming from Mr. Elton Lowe, I believe. Yeah, Elton Lowe. Good intention, yes, but Parliament is not made up for that. They are a bunch of corrupt individuals on the government side of Parliament. Maybe, a couple of flatfoot hustlers on the opposition side, but the bulk of criminals are on the government side, the so-called government side, the regime side, the installed regime. And then in other parts of the news, we hear that the installed regime, they are going to take back privately owned lands. In other words, they're going to snatch up, they're going to take away privately owned lands to expand GPL's distribution grid. They can't manage what they have right now. And so their plan is to take away what private people own. And we know who those private people are. They're going to target mainly persons of African descent. Again, that is precisely what they are going to do. I just have a couple of minutes more. I want to stay with you guys. And then I'm just going to, as they say in Guyana, beat out for now. Let's see what's happening in other news, right? Let's see what's happening in other news, and we can't leave without talking about the Village Voice newspaper. We're seeing here news out in Linden, according to the Village Voice, that 27-year-old contractor charged with attempted murder. And that contractor had an altercation with a policeman, a sergeant out there in Linden. The sergeant was shot, is in critical condition, and the quote-unquote businessman is or has been charged. And that's according to the Village Voice newspaper. And somebody's saying here in the Village Voice, more digital engagement means more fraud and so forth. Opposition slams government's ID contract, EID contract, which is good slamming. Then what else are we hearing here in the Village Voice? There's an article there by Lincoln Lewis that says no country has been freed from oppression without the oppressed themselves being directly involved and in the forefront. And I do believe, just prior to coming on this show, I do believe that all Guyanese can play a part in this. This is not where individuals only in Guyana feel that they can fight and that people have to be on the ground in order to fight. And the fight is not necessarily a physical fight. And that is what the PPPC guys them don't understand. When you say fight, it's not a physical fight. It could possibly be, but it's a fight for better Guyana. It doesn't mean that you got to pick up stuff, go on the battlefield and fight. And these Looney Tunes in the PPPC have to understand that. They have to stop intimidating people. They have to stop oppressing people. They have to stop persecuting people. One way or the other, it has got to stop. And I wish that those in the opposition would protest in their thousands when these officials from the US head down to Guyana. Sitting and talking doesn't do any good. We are not seeing any evidence of that. Because when these guys leave, we see the contracts going to Looney Tunes, we see the discrimination continues, we see all manner of things, the racism, the apartheid system. And when nothing is being done to address those issues, then we must feel away. What's the purpose then of these visits? What exactly is the purpose of these visits? We know Jason Smith is currently there, the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. What exactly is the purpose of these visits? He is, in terms of the taxation side of the Ways and Means Committee, but they have a lot of tax cheaters in Guyana. You have companies who are doing business with drug lords and money launderers and gold smugglers in Guyana. American businesses that are involved in these things. I hope Congressman Jason Smith and others visiting will be able to see the other side of the coin and not just a money-making venture something. I've got to go, guys. Let me see quickly what else some of you are talking about, but I really, really have to go. I'll see you later this evening, right here on 107.1 FM. Thank you guys for tuning in, and let's keep hope alive. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't feel that there is no hope at all. Don't allow emotions to get in the way. I know we've been hearing about enough is enough and this and that. Let's sit back. Let's analyze. Let's do some proper strategizing. And let's be smart about what our next move ought to be. Let us be really, really smart. This is not about one side being more radical than the other side or run racing to see who could be more radical than who. This is not about that. This is about strictly smartness as to how we confront the political enemy. And the political enemy to all of Guyana is the installed PPP regime that is headed by Barajagdeo and Irfan Ali. They are the enemies, the political enemies. See you guys. Pray for Guyana. It's in a bad state. Pray for Guyana. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
So, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness, aye. who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Scott stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, we have to gather wrong, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation, we have to stand strong. Ben Scott upon the radio, lively up the program. Everybody call somebody and let them turn and tune and on the radio and catch the boom song. We boom it up already, we have to boom it up again. Expose and reveal them. Who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, who tell the truth? Mark Scott, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Scott, radio station is the fruit. Mark Scott, straight up from the root. Mark Scott, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Scott stands for unity. One people, one nation.